Hello everyone, it's Kristen and welcome back for another artist spotlight video. Today's video is featuring Moana of Natanaware. She has some really beautiful designs on her website. Make sure to check her out on Instagram. Today she's going to be sharing with you how to make a really neat Hawaiian kind of style flower. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I really appreciated watching her techniques and things. I learned a lot, so I think you guys will too. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment down below and let us know if you'll be trying this technique. We'd love to hear from you. All right, without further ado, here is Moana.
Hi everyone, my name is Moana with Natanaware. Today I'm going to show you guys how I make these beautiful hibiscus flower earrings out of polymer clay. These are one of my very popular styles, so I am excited to show you how I make them. For today's tutorial, we're going to be using Sculpey Primo in the color pomegranate, as well as a scrap piece of orange from my last batch. For this tutorial, I'll be using a mold. I got this off of Amazon. You can search hibiscus flower mold and there will be plenty of options for you to choose from. You will also need this shaping tool here. I got this off of Amazon. This came in a pack with a bunch of other shaping tools, so I'm not sure the exact name of it. However, if you search in polymer clay shaping tools on Amazon, you should be able to find it. I use this quite often, as you can tell. You will also need your acrylic roller as well as a clay cutter to roll out your clay and cut them up to be stuffed into the mold. Now keep in mind, you can use any color for this technique. Whatever color you want your flower to be, use that color. I put my clay through the pasta machine. Now, when you condition your clay and when you roll it through the pasta machine, you want to make sure it's on a thin setting. So I'm not sure about your pasta machine, but mine has settings 1 through 7, 7 being the thickest. So after conditioning, I roll this out at about a 3 or a 4 because you don't want it to be too thick. So you want it to be pretty thin, because we're gonna slice them up in small pieces and we're gonna stuff them into the mold. Now, when I first started making these, I made the mistake of stuffing as much clay as I could into the mold. And what happened was when I was done baking it, it was super, super heavy. So I had to sand so much clay off to make it light. So you don't wanna make that mistake. So yes, you want your clay to be thin, like so. Before we do anything else, we're gonna stuff the mold, or we're gonna fill in the pistil part here, which on these sample earrings is this yellow part here. Now, taking our orange clay, we're gonna take a tiny piece from this, and it doesn't need to be that much. It really only requires minimal, very small piece. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to get it into this pistil part here in the mold. Now, this might be the most tedious part, but yes, so I lay it in there like this, and then I use this shaping tool to kind of just get it all in there. Again, you don't need a lot of clay for this part, just a little bit. And you don't want to put too much clay, because if you do, then it's gonna spread. Like when you add the red layer, it's gonna spread out of this part of the mold, and you don't want that. So yes, if this tool happens to stick to the clay too much, then you can kind of just dip it in cornstarch if you need to, so that it doesn't stick to the clay in there. Like so. Now we're gonna cut out our piece for the rest of the flowers. So this does not require too much as well, so I usually just cut a little square piece. Something around this size. here's the clay, here's the mold, and then you want to kind of put it on top just like that, and then using your shaping tool, you want to just stuff it in there. Now I have nails. If I didn't have nails, I can easily use my fingers to stuff it in there, but I'm going to be using the shaping tool. Again, you can use cornstarch if the clay starts to stick to your tool, but it should be very easy. Again, you don't want to use too much clay because it's going to be too heavy once you bake it. But yes, you're going to put it in like this. You can use your hands or your fingers. But I kind of use this to kind of smooth it out. Good. Now I know I mentioned that the pistol part was tedious, but this is actually the most tedious. So yes, you want to press it down so that it gets the full shape on the front end. Okay, so we are done stuffing the mold. I did use some cornstarch, but you can't even tell. Again, you don't want to stuff too much in there. You don't want it coming up over at the top. You don't want to have to scrape any excess off. So like I mentioned before, you just want to use a very thin layer of clay. Ta-da! Here is your flower. It came out really good. So this next step is optional, but I like to be a little bit extra. I like to add a little bit of shimmer, some depth into the earrings. So I'm going to be taking some eyeshadow. You can also use mica powder. You can use any color you'd like. I'm going to be using this bronze color. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to be adding it to the flower, starting from the middle and brushing it outwards. I feel like this bronze slash gold color goes really well with this red. So yes, we're starting from the middle, brushing outwards. You can blow off any excess. And here it is. So we are going to bake these at 275 for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back, drill our holes, assemble, and we'll be done. And here's the final results. I did add some DuraClear gloss varnish to seal the eyeshadow from rubbing off. That was an extra step that I took, but you don't need to do all that if you do decide to keep them matte, just like these. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial, and thank you guys so much.